how it actually progress, how it actually grows, what is the difficulties and the pain point that you went through?
Yeah, so in Climate Hub Indonesia, Climate Hub Indonesia is a boutique law firm providing carbon accounting and carbon audit and sustainability report writing for our clients.
Deciding ourselves related to the standardization on the carbon accounting. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think your association will be one of the biggest potential to do it. And I think Indonesia is not just the one of the biggest emitter, but also the most potential area to do it. So I think an association who can develop a standardization for Indonesia, it's really in need right now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, the carbonizers, carbon activists all over the world. You know, you're watching another episode of Carbon Forum with me, Poempida Hidayatulloh. And today we're going to discuss something which is not I'm fond of actually. It is carbon accounting. You know, some people, when you come up with the word accounting, is there are a lot of things in their minds. Complicated, needs to go through details, and then a lot of standardization and all. Okay. Never mind. We're lucky that we have the expert now, and he's been doing this for more than 10 years. His name is Irvan Pulungan. Welcome to Carbon Forum, Irvan. How are you?
Thank you, Pak Pompi. Fine, very well.
Oh, great. So you're an accountant. Your background is accountant, right?
And no, my background is environmental lawyer.
Oh, environmental lawyer.
And I'm taking carbon accounting and audit training.
Oh, so you don't have to have an accounting background to achieve these professional status. Yeah?
No, it's a training. You can use the FERA or gold standard standardization or IPCC 2006. You can take that course. I take it for 120 hour.
120 hours.
Yes.
That's not long.
Sorry, 120 unit credit.
Oh, okay.
So it's around 3 months.
Okay.
And we are learning about how to calculate emission. Emission carbon in forestry, buildings, and energy usage in the residential.
Any activities, basically.
Basically in 6 IPCC sector: forestry, Avolu forestry, energy in building, transportation, and waste management.
What is IPCC anyway?
Intergovernmental panel on climate change.
Okay, one of the what you call it,
the international forum where
no. One of the person who's in charge in the IPCC. What's the name? Okay. He's actually the head of our expert.
Yes, Prof. Edwin Adrian.
Right. He's from IPCC.
So
I'm proud, to have him with us. So you have to join, the
I will.
Yeah.
He's actually writing the report in special report 1.5, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So he's very good, and I'm really willing to join the association.
Okay. So, can you tell me a little bit about your activities as a carbon accountant? Now, what I'm saying is, you've been doing this for 10 years. How it actually progress? How it actually grows? What is the difficulties and the pain point that you went through? Yeah.
Yeah. So, in Climate Hub Indonesia is a boutique law firm providing carbon accounting and carbon audit and sustainability report writing for our client. So basically, we provide them with legal due diligence in terms of carbon and help them to develop for example, in forestry sector, we design their forestry design, and then we can calculate them how many emission credit they can reduce, and they can sell in the carbon market. So what is the painful things is it's just being regulated in Indonesia 2023, like ATS, like you said. But the voluntary market is already been there since Kyoto, I think. So there is joint credit mechanism between Indonesia and Japan. But the most painful on that is, I think, Indonesia is one of the biggest emitter in the world. We chop our forest a lot, right? And that makes really to make people understand that carbon credit is one of beneficial business that being made that you can be made in Indonesia is not really in market now. So after the carbon exchange is being launched in September 2023, I think it's just 1% of the activities being there. So I think it's still not really keen in the domestic market, but I think it's really promising in international market.
Okay, so you're saying that you learned the standard from Vera and Gold Standard, right? So basically, if you're saying that way, then all the carbon projects that you actually deal with, it can get the Vera certifications quite easily.
Yes. In the world now, there is several
certification agency.
Agency. There's Vera, Gold Standard. We can, if we train and we certified with them in carbon auditor or carbon accounter, we can help our client to get certification from Vera and from Gold Standard, and then register it in international market or in Indonesia system, like the SRN, the system registry national in domestic market.
Right. Okay. So that means if I wanna, for example, I have a forest, an NBS, nature-based solutions, that I would like to sort of get certified with Vera.
How many acres is that?
Oh, I have at least 2 million hectares.
Oh wow!
No, I'm just bluffing. But that's a good numbers, right?
Yeah, it is.
So let's say that I have that much, and I would like to sort of certify this to Vera. So can you assist that?
Yes, we can assist.
Then how are you going to? What are you going to do with it? So basically, that's the thing.
Basically, if it's intact forest, we can calculate the carbon sequestration and its sinks. So we can calculate that and make it credit carbon, and then we also can, we basically calculate how long, how old is the tree, and how big is the diameter, how tall, and the canopy.
Yeah, so you basically checking each of the trees or the vegetations within the forest.
Yes.
And maybe the density of the vegetation.
The vegetation and the canopy.
And the type of the forest.
And the type of the forest.
Or the type of the trees.
The type of the trees, yes.
Oh, that matters also.
That matters because if it's monoculture, it's not really good. So it needs to be multiculture. So it can you can get added value from high quality biodiversity. So we can count also.
So from the biodiversity, you get another credits for that. Yeah.
If there is orangutan there.
Okay.
So that's
maybe what's endangered animals.
Animals.
White tiger.
Tiger, things like that.
If there is one of that, then it's gonna be booming. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So let me ask you, if let's say I have 2 million hectares that I am certified, let's say it is a medium density forest.
Yeah.
So what kind of carbon credit that I would get?
Well, I think it's.
I mean, rule of thumb. It doesn't have to be precise.
Yeah, it's depend on the trees and the biodiversity there. But if it's 2 million, you can sell it. I think.
How many tons of carbon credit that you would earn from 2 million?
2 millions, I think it's around 500,000, things like that.
500,000
gigatons.
Tons?
Yeah.
Oh, gigaton.
Yes, the measurement is equivalent to ton and gigaton.
Ton equivalent
Yes.
of CO2, yeah.
Yeah. So I
CO2.
think it's quite
500,000. That's small.
much.
Like for example, if I like sorry nih, I have to sorry I'm just kidding. So he's laughing straight away. See, so because I know him. So
Internal jokes.
no internal jokes. Okay. Anyway, 2 million hectares. I mean, if you convert 500,000 metric ton of CO2 equivalent. That's like maybe only, let's say if it is $10, the price of
30
per ton.
now.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Just put it low, like $10.
Yeah.
You only get like maybe about $5 million a year out of the 2 million. I think that's too small.
Yeah. I need to check it.
Don't worry. I'm not trying to actually what you call it, giving you some examination on this. No, I mean I'm just trying to sort of verify what's going to be like, when I submit it to Vera or whatever. So yeah, I heard that the cost to submit the certification to Vera is kind of very high, right?
Yeah.
How much should I actually? No, I mean this is just, you don't have to like discuss this precisely, but I just want to ask you, how much is the cost that I have to prepare to spend, to pursue with this?
Yeah, I think it depends on the auditor supply, the auditor that you use. I think in Climate Hub Indonesia, it's quite cheap.
Okay, that's good. No, but I mean, what I'm saying in the Vera itself, there are a lot of costs that incur there.
Yes, I think you need to pay the auditor and the process and also the legal diligence. But in my experience, the benefit is quite good because you can sell it in. You don't need to just sell it in domestic market or in mandatory market. You can sell it B2B with in the voluntary market. So it's
that's right. That's normally that we would like to do anyway, because an open market is not very conducive at the moment, and
it is.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to get the right perspective out of it because of the certain technical issues.
Yeah.
But anyway, never mind about the situations. Now, what would you expect? From the what you call it, carbon accounting community. Let's say if you have like the same sort of professions as yours, right? To the people that have the same profession as yours, what would you like to have because the way that I see it, the standardization, Indonesia needs to have their own standard instead of just referring to any kind of international standard or foreign standards. I think we should sort of have sovereignty in terms of deciding ourselves related to the standardization on the carbon accounting. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think your association will be one of the biggest potential to do it. And I think Indonesia is not just the one of the biggest emitter, but also the most potential area to do it, because we have forests, we have buildings, we have waste management. So I think
the seas, man.
the sea, blue carbon. So I think an association who can develop a standardization for Indonesia, it's really in need right now. So we can have our sovereignty in the process, but also we can like offering it to like Kenya, Brazil, like same-minded countries in IPCC forum, right? Like they have the coalition between the tropical countries like Indonesia, Brazil, Vietnam, and Kenya, things like that. So we can have a more localized standard rather than the international one. One of my problem is to like localize the context. For example, the standardization I'm used with IPCC 2006. Sometimes we cannot measure the indirect emission. For example,
you mean the scope 2 and scope 3, yeah?
Yes, because for transportation, for example, we cannot say that Jakarta vehicle is just from Jakarta. They buy their fuel in Bekasi or Bogor and they're traveling in Jakarta. So it's little bit problematic there.
Yeah, so that's considered to be scope 2, yeah.
Yes.
And then scope 3 is actually the supplier again.
The supplier.
Yeah. I know. That's why I'm not fond of these accounting issues. But yeah. So do you think we need to have like a certain code of conduct? Of course, that the Indonesian Association of Accountants, they have their own code of conducts, right? So we are in the association actually already conceived the ethical codes. But do you think we need to have certain code of conduct specifically for these carbon accounting?
Yes, I do believe so because ethics is the basic of all of this. For example, the benefit of doing carbon accounting is you can ethically say that I'm not being part of the environmental problem, things like that. So I think the carbon accountant needs to also have the conducts and ethical conducts to help their client. So some issues in forestry sector is the rights of indigenous people. And human rights. You can do that. You can move people from your project and things like that. So I think that conduct will be the safeguard of our accountant to providing their services to the client.
Right. Last but not least, how many clients have you dealt with?
Well,
he doesn't want to talk because otherwise, a lot of taxmen will come to see him and try to sort of get some money out of him, right? No, just kidding.
Several. We are now we have a client, a consortium from Singapore and Indonesia.
Oh, okay.
They wants to develop a carbon and conservation project in West Java, Cianjur, Tekokak village, 26 acre there, and in Klaten.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's been very interesting. Even though we are discussing carbon accounting, it's still interesting though. Now, so would you like to address like a couple of minutes to the audience of Carbon Forum, please?
Yeah, Carbon Forum, carbon activist and carbon accountant, we need to address this issue to help Indonesia achieving their INDC and also striving our client to sustainable development.
Oh, great. Thank you, Irvan. And
thank you very much.
We'll be inviting you again in the future, of course, when you join the association.
Okay, I will.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, the carbonizers, carbon activists all over the world. Thanks for watching. That was Irvan Pulungan, and he just discussed a lot of things related to the carbon accounting. Hopefully that will reveal a lot of questions that needs to be answered in your head. And with me, Poempida Hidayatulloh. Thanks for watching. Until the next episode of Carbon Forum. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.